This
which has
conference will now be recorded.
been started from last 10 years ago, and then more than 10 years, or maybe so where they started their culture and being on the cloud. The reason why we need to be in the cloud and why we are all being agenda here, we just wanted to see the difference. What's being cloud, cloud, cloud. Okay, we are all talking about all the times cloud organizations. Okay, so but just before coming to the cloud, right? What's being internally we do have in our earlier days. Earlier days, pretty much we do have the sessions are running through all your database, all your OS, all your network, everything was running pretty much the same thing before just getting into the cloud. Cloud has been a word which has been changed completely in terms of the IT revolutionary, in terms of simplifying your things into the cost and much more benefits. The first main agenda that the thing which came into the place is much more into this is cost. Okay, and earlier being days, right? So let me start with a small example. Okay, and it's pretty much which relates to your college days or everything. Okay, so when you guys want to play, I mean, like, the more virtualized games, I mean, like, more intergraphical games, which needs huge memory in terms of huge RAM, and then, like, in terms of, yeah, in terms of everything where you are looking, and if you want to buy a real graphical computer which deals with VGA graphics and everything to play a better games, which will take minimum 50 to 60,000 or 1 lakh up to 1 lakh, and everyone cannot play the same computer to get into a rail and then play the games. And if someone wants to choose a laptop but they don't have afford to pay the, I mean, like, to get the laptop, but in these days, right? I mean, if you really want a computer for a business or a personal, or if you want high-end computer, everything, right? Everything what we are talking about today, you can opt for a rent, kind of the hotel or maybe something which is available on your stationery, which is from the Google Cloud vendors. I mean, you can take over the, just what you wanted to do is you just give a AWS cloud or Azure cloud or Google cloud. It could be anything, right? I mean, as you just wanted to play a Windows server, you just wanted to know that what's going on. So just you just need to log into the portal and then click on one of the computer signal and then create it virtual machine. Inside the virtual machine, right? Whatever the computer you are using today, the same thing will be available over there to use for yourself, and which is readily available in less than 10 minutes. That's the meaning of which is a big cloud example, which is really a fantastic from earlier days to. I think the mute is going indefinitely from, not from my side, but yeah, I think I just unmuted it by seeing this now. Yeah, so just coming to the point, right? I mean, the cloud is a evolutionary or revolution which has been changed tremendously from last 10 to 15 years. I can say the decades has been changed by this cloud in terms of the cost and simplifying the things. Like I just given you the example, which is the best and simple example which will suit for all our students. Like if you guys want to give it a try, probably you can just log into one of those portals and just give it a try. Okay, so just to in order, like, before just giving a try for completely in terms of Azure or AWS or anything, right? I would like to pick today for the Azure session because we just committed with Azure, but there are the leaders in the cloud, which is Amazon and then the Google and then the, you know Azure. Okay, so the three from, I mean, three marketplace which is already available and probably indefinitely, right? I mean, it's not the only three organizations where they are running the cloud, and even we are running the cloud. I mean, every company has their own cloud organizations which is simplifying the customer business and giving the best to the customers. So that's where it has been started, and it's pretty much all the cloud organizations are doing on the same pace. Yeah, just to precise, and if you're going to the presentation, right? Yeah, I think everyone is able to understand. I'm a slow or fast. Probably is everyone audible? At least raise your hand, or probably if there is an option, so that we can get you interacted with this way.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. I mean, everyone can see my computer where I'm sharing already.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I is visible.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, I think everyone can see this. Okay, if you can see my screen, right? So we are talking about Azure, okay? The same thing which you have seen video over there, right? I mean, in Azure also we have inbuilt functions, features, all the virtual missions, and then there are a lot of applications and everything where you can do a lot of stuff by yourself. I mean, which is like I mean, it's a platform integration which has been already built it by a marketplace, and where they made it ready for you to use it yourself whenever you need it. Okay, that's how the cloud vendors does the business, and it's pretty much easy for everyone. Say suppose earlier days I used to build one of the system, and it used to take like more than 15 days, 20 days, and we used to build a configuration sheets and everything. But right now what you just wanted to do is, yeah, thank you. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, just to precise, right? I mean, just coming back to the same point, earlier days we used to spend a lot of time in spending building the things into IT infrastructure related services. But now the cloud services has become more visible and very easy to get the things done. Okay. And if you're able to see my screen, right? I mean, we are just giving the presentation on the Azure. I mean, open and flexible cloud organizations build, deploy, and manage applications across global network, build applications using any language, tool, or framework, integrate public cloud applications with your existing IT environment. Okay. See, I mean, the slide says very easily to interrupt with your college days, right? I mean, open and flexible for the cloud platform. I mean, it is very easy to operate. Okay, that's the reason they says that it is very flexible for us. Build, deploy, and manage applications across the global network, right? I mean, you can build anytime when you just wanted to do this, but I'll just cover this when I'm just going to the, I mean, the practical thing. So probably just give me few couple of more minutes to get into the practical as well as, and simple integrate. I mean, it's very easy and flexible that you can create and you can just play anything over the cloud. That's what the first slide says. Okay. If you are just going to the second slide, right? Why use the cloud? I mean, this is pretty much speed, scale, economic. The reason I told, right? I mean, the cloud is looking for utmost at the cost, because earlier we used to spend too much infrastructure into that. You know, let's say suppose again, I'm just giving an example. In earlier days, if I wanted to spend a mission to build it, right, in terms of the virtual mission or the physical mission, right, it's being time taken job, and it has to involve all the teams, and it will take minimum 15 days. But right now in the cloud, right, I mean, they have been designed with the templates which you can create a virtual mission less than 2 to 5 minutes in worst case, and the best case is less than a minute. Okay, so the speed has been changed from traditional to the right now where we are standing on the cloud. And the scale means, we can increase anything in the infrastructure level. Let's say suppose you want 10 GB RAM, and 50 GB hard disk, and then it could be anything. I mean, vastly you can increase your terms of the speed of your RAM, everything for a better performance. And if you look at the last and least economics, which is lower cost one comparatively with your build. Why this is looking so specific to lower cost? What's the reason? why we wanted to use the cloud. The reason behind is, when say suppose I'm building a cluster or the infrastructure in terms of the mission as a server, right? I used to spend a lot of 15 days, and then I need to engage into the multiple teams, and I need to spend a huge amount by investing the data centers across the globe, and I just wanted to make sure that everything is happening properly or not. But here in this cloud, you doesn't wanted to bother about any of the other stuff. You just start your career. I mean, you'll get to know what's going on, to be honestly. And the absolute lower cost is because you're not managing anything internally in the hardware, or you're not managing anything. Completely everything end to end deal by the cloud vendors. So that's where you doesn't want to spend your penny, and then you will be in a great position to save your cost. That is where the cloud organizations are being reputed daily, one day by day. And also the another part of the reason, right? I mean, this is one of the utmost factor for all the organizations to save their cost. Okay,
Sai,
so
this is Sushil. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Due to some network glitch, can you make organizer to Narsimlu sir? You are right now, you're an organizer role. Just change it to Narsimlu sir as an organizer. There seems to be some network glitch at YouTube.
okay,
I'm sorry to
all
interrupt you,
right.
Sai.
No problem, thank you. Just give me
Are
a
you able to do
second.
it?
Yeah, just give me a second.
Sure, sure.
నాది ఆప్షన్ రావట్లేదు కాక. Sorry, everyone. I think there was a network glitch which was happened technical side. I think I'm just back. I think thank you, sir, for Simbu, sir, for just getting me back on this.
Daddy, no remind me to Sava.
I'm really sorry, guys. There was a network glitch which is unexpected, so I'm sorry. I'm just back. So I think, yeah, we were talking about the I mean cloud, why it is being used and everything, right? Yeah. If, I mean, I think we just covered the speed, scale, and economic, which is at the lower cost, and that's the reason everywhere the cloud organizations are being more popular at this cloud organizations, and the service are getting, I mean, like, increase day by day, and the iterations is very going high from the physical to the cloud. Yeah. Okay. So let me go to this. What are all the services? I mean, we have looked into the Amazon as well as right now in the video, which was not covered the same video in terms of Azure. Yes, but definitely we will also get into the same video if you want us. Yeah, we'll do that as well as. Yeah, this is pretty much, if you see at the Azure services, right? I mean, Azure services has been offered like more than 1,000 plus, which is really a fantastic services at the end to end, like how I showed you in the Amazon, right? The same thing will be covered over here. And if you look at here, I mean, application services, compute, and then the data services, and then the network. It's just not only the four services which are just giving by the Azure, and we do have a lot of services which will be opened by the Azure, and probably I'll be covering those in the demo part. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if you're going to the computer services, right? I mean, right now we just spoke earlier days. We just wanted to build a VM, which is taking a days together to get the created and everything. Right now in Azure or any cloud service vendor, I mean, I can say we do have the cloud services, but I do say like if you want to build a virtual mission, which is just less than 5 minutes, I think definitely everyone got stuck over the here. I mean, what is being virtual mission? I think everyone could have got this doubt. Okay, what is being virtual mission? I mean, everyone has aware of this probably. I think majority of the guys joined as IT services, right? I mean, by this time everyone could not be knowing majority of the guys, but knowing some of the few folks, right? So virtual mission is a word which will create your applications in one of the cloud services. Either you use the operating system in the Windows or the Linux, but you can deploy and manage the things in the cloud. And the virtual mission will be like these guys. Okay, just let me turn on my virtual mission. I mean, which is physical virtual mission I'm just showing. So this is a virtual mission physically how it will be. And you can install everything over here in terms of like your OS, like how we are dealing. What I'm just having today is the Windows 10, and probably in Windows here, right? I'm in virtual machine. We can install Ubuntu, we can install Linux, we can install Windows, we can install Windows Server, anything which is really required. But the same thing what I'm talking is this is physically installed on my desktop, which I can able to see the physical mission. This is actually called as a physical mission. Okay, so where I have installed on my computer, but what I'm talking today is virtual missions, right? I mean, this word I will not be able to see in the portal until unless everything is ready. I can just start able to log into the server, and then I can just start my work. But whatever the things here, but whatever you are seeing here, right? This is completely a physical server, and that's the difference between the physical and the cloud services. Okay. Yeah. And here, right, I mean, it's not only just a virtual mission. I mean, you can create the website, you can create your business from one cloud to other cloud, and then you can build and deploy the high availability infinitely scalable applications, and which is a very low cost. And you can also use some mobility services to run the apps which we are playing today in the games, or it could be Google Play. If you go to the Google Play Store, right, you have the lot of mobile apps which is in day-to-day life where you guys might be knowing and you guys might be using and you guys could be already started. So everything what we are doing in day-to-day life, like it could be anything, right? I mean the business or everything you can completely manage through the cloud. That's how the cloud has been changed evolutionary or revolutionary. Okay, I mean which will give complete end-to-end services. Again, it's kind of a network. I mean, like everyone has the mobile and you call for your friend, you talk to them the same way, right? If you want to talk to one of the server to see, one server might be in Bangalore, one server might be in Hyderabad, but this has to talk, right? So there should be a traffic. So traffic has to control. So all these controls in the network, which will be taken care by the network services. In terms of how we deal day to day in the mobile, the same thing comes to the IT infrastructure, but we do have some of the securities bonded with our IT. And if you come back to the data services, right, it's just kind of data management. I mean, it could be SQL or NoSQL or the Hadoop. It could be anything, right? I mean majority of the our guys could have heard about this. I think either MCA or CSE or IT, everyone knows the SQL databases, right? SQL, at least SQL, at least PL SQL, there is a subject which called us. And in terms in depth of the SQL database management or the complete database management upfront, I'll be sharing my session tomorrow. So, but just going roughly here, it's all the databases. It is comes on the database management. Yeah, business analytics, which is enrichment of your now reporting purpose, which we will be using. And in terms of a reporting, right, I can also take a small example and the database as well as in terms of the data management. Okay, the data management is nothing that right now. Earlier days we used to collect all the manual sheets whenever you join in the college. We used to have the admission report and then we used to pick a file and then we will be keeping over there, and then whenever you pay the fees and everything, right, that will be tagged into a single file manually by the manual resource. Okay, right now what's happening today is once you get into the admission form, once your ISET or maybe MSET has completed, right, you will be just going through the college and you will be choosing your college, and then from there what you are going to do, you will be joining in the college, and then from there everything is completely online. Earlier days you used to go with a lot of papers and stuff, and everything is being managed and stored in the database. So that's called the database management. Okay, and business analytics. So now all your data is available, but how many people are in CSE, how many people are in IT, how many people are in civil, how many people are mechanical. You wanted to pull a small report. Earlier days we used to have the attendance and then count the people, how many people are coming are everywhere. But right now the tremendous things has been changed because the online has been given a multiple vast options to utilize the classroom services where we can interrupt, I mean we can share with like live classes, embedding everything. Right now, see, I mean I'm not sure, I mean earlier, but right now I can able to see there is a 248 which is kind of reporting, which is giving to me by the tool the same where in the entire college. If I go to one of the portal and say that BCIT college, Bharat Institute of Technology college.com, and then if I just click on the resources and then the staff, and then if I just go glimpse there, right, I mean I can able to see complete reporting structure, who is the chairman, who is the vice president, who is the professors, who is in IT, everything is well organized and it's called kind of a reporting. And in terms of why I'm just giving to the college related stuff, you just wanted to understand, so I'm just correlating with your college stuff. And the same thing into the terms of the IT, right, we do pull several reports a day to see the business, how it's going on frequently. That's where the business analytics started. Okay, and this is HD Insights. I mean, this is one of the NoSQL Hadoop solutions, which is, I mean, like to pull into the reports, right? This is one of the biggest insight technology which has been drastically improved in last several years. I can say from last 5 years till 5 years, right? I mean, this technology no one knows it, but from 5 years, this technology has been grown for a reporting purpose. And this is where Hadoop has been become as a more services. So right now I just covered the database, how it help you to store your data. and then analytics, how it will help you to pull the report, and then yeah, what is Hadoop. And I mean, I'll get into those details by tomorrow in terms of the database definitions. Yeah, right now I'm just giving a small insights. Yeah, so this is cache and this is backup, and then this is a recovery manager. So earlier I told the analytics and then the where you store the data, everything, and then right now cache, how it helps is, and it will speed up your the applications in terms of when you say BIET.com, right? So that is using your cache memory, kind of a memory stuff, which will boost your website to get into the touch base with all the end users who is doing BIET.com. So the same way, now we spoke about the database and then different things, but how to protect that data. Right now you have the data, you are paying your college fees, and lecturers are maintaining the data which they are sharing with you guys with the assignments, everything, and how the data is getting, you know yeah. So right now we just need to make sure that all the data is stored somewhere where that can be stored. That is where the problem comes, and the solution is the backup. And in terms of your simple correlation of example is, you have your phone on hand for everyone, but every day if you see that your phone is getting backed up by Google, or maybe, I mean, majority of the phones is built up with Google operating systems, I mean, and you will be having a schedule backup every day without any doubt, and which will show you 11 a.m., 11 p.m., 12 a.m. the backups are taking, including when you format your system, or maybe the mobile, right? I mean, once you are just giving your email ID, okay, and then you will be restoring it back, right? So once your format is done, so how it is coming, it is coming through the backup. So who is taking the backup? Google is taking your phone's backup. The same way, when you're running a business, when you're having a college or maybe anything, right, we will be taking up the backup to just for a safe secure position for a future time. It's not really required at that point of moment, but say suppose I just wanted to give a feedback of one of the student who studied on 2002, what's happened, how about he's a good, he's a bad, and what's his score, and he's a regular to the candidate. So the entire data will be in terms of the college will be stored in the backups. Okay, so and then whenever there is a system crash, and then when there is a college has gone some problem or maybe something, right, but your data will be secured and protect. And then the same way, right, in terms of what we deal in IT. So right now I started in terms of the college, and then I went into the personal. Right now I'm coming to IT. So IT, right, I mean, we do have lots of vast of data. I mean, in terms of the terabytes, and then I mean petabytes of the data is flowing for a day. But how do we do backups? It's all designed through one of the single solution to back up your systems at given point of business. Whenever there will be business loads will be less, right? That time we will be taking out the backups. So that's how we been intend to design the solutions for the customers from the ID perspective. I hope we have been understood what is being in everything in terms of personal, and then college, and then we just gave you the examples on the IT. So to back up everything, right, backup is one of the biggest and crucial tool to restore your systems back. So right now, just recovery manager, right? What's recovery manager? So till now you have the database, you have the reporting system, you have the backups, but you wanted to restore. Like I said, right, earlier, you just give your email ID and then restore it. It will restore your last successful backup from where it is doing recovery manager. So everywhere, right, I mean, whenever we do backup, there will be a recovery pod also. I mean, that's how the recovery manager came into the picture. So this is all in just glimpse, right, what is in terms of what's being covered. Okay, yeah, here till now we covered in terms of the database, backup, recovery, and everything. Okay, this is app service in the sense, there are multiple things which going on inside and around. Okay, media services,
Didi,
everyone knows, right? I mean, you used to share one of the video to your friend on
Didi,
the WhatsApp, which is kind of a media. which is getting spread from one place to other place. Okay, the same thing here also, it will allow us to build the workflows in creation of management, distribution in terms of the media using Azure public cloud. See, again in the cloud, right? We do have three types of cloud, which is private cloud, public cloud, and healthcare cloud. Public cloud means everyone can access from anywhere. You just can access from your mobile. I mean, simple, I can say that, it's Google Images is available, right? How we are accessing. I mean, if you give the link to your friend, he can also access. Anyone can access. That's where it called as a public. The word itself, very easy to understand, which is a realistic word is public. But private cloud is not really, will not allow you to, until unless you provide specific security prescriptions or maybe precautions, until unless you allow them to log in, you give a privilege to read, write, or read, write anything, right? I mean, it won't allow you to get into that link or maybe something until unless you provide the right authorization. Okay, so that's where private cloud has been came. Healthcare cloud, I mean, see, public and private is a both is much, but healthcare, right? I mean, our healthcare industries are running through the healthcare cloud. I mean, that is very important business aspect, and that is very highly converged infrastructure which has to be built up. So that's where being called as healthcare cloud. I mean, let's say suppose a small example on the healthcare cloud, right? I mean, if you are going through a hospital, there might be multiple scanners and everything. Okay, if something goes down in the infrastructure, the scanner will not work and it will take out the lives, which is in realistic example. To make sure that healthcare cloud has been become a separate cloud in terms of public private for the organization entities, healthcare is the utmost crucial part, because everything to be work on 24/7 without any downtime. That's the one. Okay, yeah. Again, just coming back to the point, media services, I just told you the same way, it helps in our IT as well. And messaging, right? I mean, allows you to keep your apps across connected to the private cloud environments or public cloud environments internally in the Azure or the AWS or the Google Cloud, or it could be any other vendors. I mean, say suppose, I mean, in terms of when you are putting a message for your friend, right? Hi, it is just reaching out to him. So the same way, right? In terms of here, the apps are completely connected to your private cloud environments or the public cloud environments internally in the Azure. So the notification hubs, what is the notification hubs? It provides a highly scalable cross platform push notification infrastructure. If say something goes wrong, I mean, internally in my cloud, hey, it gives a pop-up message saying that, like, hey, there is a problem with this mission, can you just go and see. It will send a communication and it will send a notification in terms of the email and in terms of the mobile message how you have been registered through. So that way it gives us all complexity or the easy notifications to identify the issues in the cloud, and then we will be logging as a technical engineers and we will be trying to fix the services. If something is really going on wrong and we can able to fix out, we will be able to fix from our side. If we are not able to fix out, right, I mean, we will talk to the cloud vendor to make a better approach to get the things in a well mannered shape. So that's how it started. I mean, yeah. So just going to this, right? I mean, Active Directory. I mean, there are multiple services in the apps to be continued from the previous slide. But if you just come back to here, right? I mean, multi-factor authentication. I mean, which is very crucial. Say, suppose in terms of your understanding capability is very easy to understand this way. See, you might be logging to Google, right? Or maybe the Gmail, okay? Nowadays, if you guys observe over here, I mean, there is a authorization code comes to your picture, let's say suppose 11, and then while logging into the Google, it says that, whether you're the right person or not. So it is kind of, artificial intelligence which will invoke a function and it gives you a notification. Hey, is that right? You say, can you just confirm me the number what your number is showing here and there? Yeah. If I press the right number level, then only I will be able to log into the Google or Gmail. So the same thing comes to in terms of you are right. I mean, when you're writing your lab exams, you might be having the portal, you have the username, you have the password. So if you're not having the right password, it will not allow you to log into the lab examinations, right? The same way in IT, right? I mean, we do have several authentications has been set up to do not attack from any outsiders. So, and you should not be able to hack the business. So we do use provide for the multi-factor authentication, which is an extra layer of security in terms of to do not avoid any attacks from the outsiders, and it should not hamper our business. So we just covered in terms of your college life, and I just gave the example in terms of the professional life. So that's where it's being multi-factor, and the active directory, right, it access and identifies the management capability of controls, how we wanted to log in, what is the authorization we wanted to provide, and who are you, on which team you belongs to. Let's say suppose now you guys are being in college, right? So we do have several branches: CSE, IT, and then electrical, and then electronics, and then civil. Okay, so five branches are falling in a single organization, but everyone wants to access the computer or not, it will be dealt by the HOD of your respective teams. So what happens is, I think CSC and IT teams HOD says that IT guys really need the computer access, and they need to know we need to create a specific authorization access for them to have all the applications up and running before they just log into the computers. So what happens is, when you log in, you can do anything. I mean, by creating your programs, everything you can store somewhere, everything will happen. But when you just wanted to uninstall your programs, which is restricted, right? I mean, it will be provided for only few guys who is really like a IT admin guys who will be working on your backend support teams. So it is just an example how you wanted to make sure that you wanted to protect your data and everything, to make sure that you are following the right access, you are really a real person to access the business in terms of everything, right, which is completely controllable and access. That's what we just wanted to cover up from the previous slide. Yeah, if you cover this slide, right, I mean, if everyone can see my screen, just give me a second. Yeah, see here, if you observe, right, I mean, like there are multiple things. If you see here, integration, application, data layer, I mean, client layer. So till now, what we have been spoke is the data layer. Now you know how it's your data is getting and where you are storing, and then application layer, from where it is coming really the data. You wanted to build application, from the application only the data will be decides. Says, I mean, like, okay. And then integration layer, how you are getting, say suppose right now we are having all the network related stuff, right? I mean, integration layer, which everyone talks, communicates, notifications, and everything. And a plain example, right, go to meeting is an option, is application where you guys are talking to me, or maybe I'm sharing my session today, right? How it's happening? This is a network integration, right? Through the network integration, we are just gathering a single time here, and I'm in Bangalore, you guys are in Hyderabad, but still we are able to connect, right? So that's how the network and the integration layer comes to the picture. And this is at most the client. I mean, how you're used, like, on premises, or maybe cloud, or phone, tablet. See, right now some of them they could have connected through the PC like me, and some of them they could have connected through the tablet in their hand today, and then some of them they could have connected to the phone. See, earlier days, if we wanted to connect a session, which is kind of a meeting, which will be like a huge plan, and you wanted to spend too much time in spending that, you wanted to make sure all the things has been agenda prepared, and then the meeting area has been confirmed, and then you have to confirm that meeting capability, how many persons will come, and that everything precisely you have to do, and you have to spend manually by going there, and you have to spend a lot of time for the meetings. Right now, when it comes to the cloud, or maybe the revolution in IT, or evolution, whatever the words we used to call, see right now, just in, probably they could have got some of the sales guy, and they could have got go to meeting, and then we are all being here. So we are not spending much more time, right? The things has been changed. means it's not like earlier days. The trend has been changed. It's not only just in IT. Right now, see college. The college does not think about this. They gave you the flexibility how the IT is going on. They brought us, so it's all together. They're pulling in single place, and which is kind of, you can connect from anything. It could be mobile or maybe something. So which made everyone possible today, instead of like, where we does not want it to be here. So coming back to the same point, right? So right now we covered the data layer, the application layer, and the integration layer. And then just give me a second. So we covered almost all the aspects over here, and probably still everyone would be ending up, what's cloud really? What's being in change in the cloud? So I mean, see, I just told you right earlier also, right? I mean, to make management decisions or maybe something in terms of the college meetings or the grand success, right? I mean, this reads a really huge efforts. But right now, like I said, it's just either these tools can be used to just to talk to each other, friends, and your professors, and then your lecturers, and then like us. So we are all being here. So I think, like I told you, the data, just coming back to precise everything just less than in 5 minutes. So whatever we use in mobiles, right, the same way we do support multiple customers across the company, and to store that data we might be using, this could be the things where we are storing their data for backing up. We might be having different tools, and we do have a lot of tools to back up yourself for your things. And then applications, right, I told you, right, you have the Google Play apps and all those apps. Where it is being built at, all the IT guys who is building those apps are being built by IT guys, who is really developers, who makes our life easily for the access everything. So GoToMeeting is also an application, right? So because of the application, we are just talking to each and everyone today. So the same way integration layer, which comes to network traffic, like how you use your mobiles to access and notify your friends, easily way to communicate. The same way we do have multiple tools. I'm not going to completely give the complete tools how we are going to integrate our everything. Probably I can share the few links where you can just get in deep for yourself. And probably if we get additional chances maybe to talk to you guys, that would be really, we can share what's going on and how the tools has been designed and everything. In apps we do have like, more than 1,000 plus. In the data layer we do have 1,000 plus. So it's all multiple services, and I'm just giving a glimpse, guys, to just to connect with your and what the day-to-day life covers, how your data is being back up to Google. The same way we have everything. I mean, it's relate everything into your personal life when you are just becoming to the IT engineers. Okay. So I think this last slide, right? I mean, I doesn't want to cover this because this is pretty much, you guys does not need for the pricing. But if you guys want to give this, I'll share this one. And probably I do have another 30 minutes to go to the slide. I mean, just now we went to the slide, what we went cloud, and then the data, and then the recovery, and then the multi-factor authentication. We just spoke about the multiple things. But in terms of the application, in terms of the data, in terms of the integration, in terms of the apps, we have vast applications which has been developed by multiple companies, multiple developers over the globe. It's not just only us where we are here just sharing this, but absolutely the knowledge is available across, and everyone knows how to play with Google from all the sites from your side. So definitely you guys can play in and around with Azure and then Google or the cloud vendors, and you can just go to any Google and say that, just Google Cloud and then Amazon Cloud and then Azure Cloud. So you will get lot of public blogs and then much more information. Now there are multiple applications which are being built by the vendors, and then you will get to know what's going on. But I just gave the complete example in terms of your day-to-day life. Yeah, just going back to the practical session, right? I mean, okay. Hope I would like to take a small 1 minute break, just to pause, I think. Uh, I think everyone is following me, at least like not completely 100%, because we are in IT and we will be able to understand what's going on. But I would like to have, like, at least you guys are following us. I believe definitely you guys are following without any doubt. That's for sure. But just madam or sir, I think, is it I'm slow or it's okay, or do you want me to make a slow down and then just come back to the practical? Narsimul sir, is it completely okay, or do you want us to slow down some bit bitter?
Endla sir, it's completely okay, sir. You could continue. There's no problem.
All right, thank you, madam. Okay, yeah. So till now we were talking on the presentation, and then I have showed you the demo on the video, how the cloud simplifies your business, and then we spoke about multiple things in college related life, and then we spoke about how you use your mobile. Okay, so right now, cloud, okay, the cloud is fantasy world. You just can able to log in from anywhere, whatever the communication which I showed you earlier in the slide, right? Either from a tab, either from a computer, either from your mobile. Okay, so everywhere you can be able to, okay, this is how it's being operated and this is how it's being told. Okay, so right now if you can see my screen, right, I mean, we can be able to showcase that, like, it's completely a portal which we have logged in today. And like, so we are able to see our screen. Just give me a second, please. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's where being changed. Okay, so if you want to log into the cloud, I told again the cloud. Yeah, we are talking. Something is going on. Okay, that's fine. Something has been muted again. Yeah, thank you. So we were talking about cloud. Okay, so I'm just going to precise in three simple and pretty much words. Cloud means you can log in anywhere, from your laptop, from your phone, from your tablet, and it is easy to communicate, and it is easy to notifications. I mean, everything is pretty much simple. Like I told, right, before getting into these portals, we used to set up a lot of tools to make sure that business is available. But now with these vendors, the business has been simplified to make sure everything is taken care by the vendor itself. Earlier we used to have multiple across all the different world, right? I mean, we do enable the zones, and then we do see in earlier days. Just let me take this example. Okay, when I started my career in IBM, right, so we used to do the refreshes, which is kind of like, a kind of a restore and recovery, okay, by the backups of the production, and then to one of the test system. So whenever we get a customer notification, right, I mean, to restore these systems, like how I told you the Google example, right? So earlier days we used to log a ticket, and then once after the data center guys comes into the picture, and then what they do is they will take the tapes, like how our movie tapes, right, it comes in the boxes, right? The same way these data tapes will be taken from this data center, and this will be in Colorado, and the other data center will be in somewhere in California or maybe something. Okay, they have to get into the truck, and then, once after everything, the truck is available, they entered into the data center, they put these tapes, everything, which is all the human efforts. Right now what we can say is, because of this cloud, we can just able to complete the same task. Earlier we used to take 10 days. It is all physical and manual work. Right now, in terms of the cloud, right, where we used to back up less than a few minutes, based on the depends on your VM size, and then we can be able to restore your VM less than couple of minutes, I can say, because it's been simplified over the years or over the decades. So it's pretty much simple. Like I told, right, you just wanted to press portal.azure.com, which will give you the portal login access. But right now, if you see my screen, I have been logged in already. So, and then this is kind of AWS. This is also like aws.amazon.com. You can also log in here. I did not logged in through the Google Cloud, and unfortunately I don't have the access for directly to the Google Cloud. So but yeah, just to precise, right, here everything you see here, if you click on more services, right, I mean if you see, just we covered those three topics which is really important for you guys, which is like compute and then apps and then the data and then the backup and recovery part. But if you do see my screen, right, once you enter into this Azure portal, right, there is 1,000+ services which is available from the Azure, or maybe if you go to Amazon, the same thing, okay. So every client, or maybe they can use all these services how they want to utilize. If you click on all, you can be able to see all the services which is coming on general. And then if you see compute, I just spoke about just virtual machine, but we do have additional 35. And so we do have different flavors, different stuff, so which is 1,000+. And general is, this is the one. And then compute, if you want to segregate, right, so you can also segregate what is the networking tools which is available in the Azure. Yeah, you can see here. And then storage. Okay, here I'm just going to pass for a second the storage, right. We spoke about um the Google Photos, how you're being backed up into the photos, right. I'm sorry. Okay. So those storage Google is giving for free for 15 GB, and if you want to purchase on top of that, you can purchase 15 GB. They are giving free to store our data, and then we can restore any given point of time when your system or maybe the phone got crapped, right? So that's where. So the same kind of storage tools which is available from the cloud vendors, which is similarly here where I'm showing on my screen. Yeah. And then there is a web applications which is inbuilt. You can just use less than 5 minutes to 10 minutes to better to get into a shape, without you know anybody's help. And then if you look at mobile app services, notification hubs, which we show you, right, the same thing which is covered in the portal. And then this is containers. If you go through there, right, there are multiple options. In terms of the database, if you see here Azure Cosmos, and if you go to here, right, if I just give database in Amazon portal, right, we do have multiple databases which comes through here. Okay, if I just give database, it came 1532 results, means which is already available in your marketplace. And you can just click on install. Earlier days, if I wanted to build a VM, like I told you, right, which is taking time, and then I want multiple teams to get into build a VM, and then our apps or the other functional teams can use. Okay, but in cloud, just a single click will change complete things into a better shape rather than what we are standing in physical. So that is being changed, majority of the things internal in the cloud. And the same way what you are seeing here, right, I just covered on identity, how your mobile has been authenticated in terms of your real life. The same way, right, our IT infrastructures has been integrated with your identity to make sure that you're the right person, you're the right business guy, you wanted to make sure that you wanted to use this business. So that's where identity comes into the picture. So it's being changed, security. And then there are multiple things. AI plus machine learning is one of the popular technology right now, which is going into the blue boom. It's artificial intelligence, which is kind of on machine learning. So you can just do chatbots, and you can just interact in terms of different ways, I can say. Okay. And yeah, so management plus governance, and then others also, there are few apps. So I would say, please, at least if you want to take a look what's being cloud and everything, I just showed you in here in the presentation, and as well as I covered in a similar to way that I just logged into the portal and I showed that how it is being changed. and it can be with any respective vendor the same way, Amazon, Google, or Microsoft Azure. Okay, would you have lot of inbuilt tools from each perspective. Also, if you see here, you can see all Linux, Unix, all Windows operating system also, they do manage by themselves. And in terms of very precisely, right, so for each and every option, earlier days it is physical is very tough and very tedious for us, but now it is very easy to access across the globe applications. I mean, in a single click with single portal. That's made everyone's, the trend has been completely changed. And you know um as I told you, the cloud, where it helped for end users or the engineers in IT and the companies. And I just gave you real-time examples by comparing your stuff in terms of today's college daily life. Yeah, probably I'm just going to leave you additional 5 minutes, probably from 11:25 to 11:30 will be the questions. And if anyone has any specific questions, yeah, before just getting into there, I'm just giving up, right? So please be ready with your questions. And probably we have another 10 minutes to cover. So this is how all the tools and their link. And cloud, just you can connect from anywhere, but whatever it's my physical mission, only I can access through from the computer where I got installed. And this is specifically to me, Sai. And from the Sai, only the person who can access this. But cloud, anyone can from CSE, anyone can from IT, anyone can from civil, anyone from college prospective from the management, everyone can be able to access. So this is all about a simple. And in cloud, there are three leaders which is in strong in market: Google, Amazon, and Azure. So right now those three vendors are the popular vendors in the world across the globe. And they do specifically have, right, I mean, I just gave what is cloud and everything. Okay, but in terms of today, probably, right, if anyone has any interest on cloud, right, probably they can get into more insights by just deep diving by yourself, by putting your ideas into the Google. I think majority of the folks who join in college day life, which is, I think, everyone knows about the Google, because majority of the students are using the mobile phones. You can just go through Google and just sell, like, Azure, or maybe Google Cloud, or maybe Amazon portal, so that you will get to know at least what is the knowledge. And also based on this, right, so there is a need that everyone to manage this cloud as a admins and developers, everything, right? So you guys also has who has a bright future in coming up in cloud, or maybe the developers, or maybe the functional developers, or maybe the code programmers, it could be anything, right? So cloud deals everything. So probably you can take a look, and then so you can have some more insights on, like, what you are going to decide on the cloud. Do you have any interest to learn something which is really a cloud? What's going on our future, how to set our goals in prioritize. See, right now college has brought up and tied up with one of our Shishul who has, I mean, fantastic knowledge in getting engagement of youth, right? So that's where it's being gathered here. Okay, so probably, like, you just start with getting more things, and you just start kicking off your goals in terms of what to need to know and how the world is getting changed, and that will definitely impact your lives from today, day to day services. And then definitely you will be the person, like, what to choose in the cloud, and where to start, how to learn. So get a suggestions from your friends, from your seniors, and then from the persons who are already working in IT from your side. So it could be a fantastic option to just to take a insight, and then probably it may help your career to fine tune without having knowledge, right? So we can't always fine tune ourselves. So let's start kick off after the session. Probably I would assume everyone will go through the Google and then say that, what is being cloud, or maybe talking to your brothers, talking to your family, talking to the persons who is working on IT. And then, you just get interact with them to kickstart yourself and then learn something better before your college completes. So that's where, and we are all here, I can say. And thank you for giving such an opportunity for us from the college management for each and everyone, and especially Sushil who has brought in me here. Okay. So thank you everyone, and I hope I'm just leaving before 5 minutes for your question and answers. Yes, please go ahead and unmute yourself and ask me any questions. It's over to you guys. I'm done from my side.
Thank you so
Narsimul
much,
sir.
Mr.
Yeah.
Thanks. It was such a wonderful session. Thanks for your real-time examples, and also how cloud is very much useful in the applications of cloud. Thank you so much, sir. It was very useful. And I hope even the listeners were benefited from this particular session. Now we are open to question and answer session. So if anybody has any questions, you're welcome to ask them, and sir will guide you all through this question. Once again, I thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session. It was really informative, and I'm sure that everybody has benefited from this, and we'll definitely go through different blogs of different various clouds and the various different ways we could apply cloud in our lives. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam. Yeah, I think college guys, right? I mean, probably you can straightforward give the questions to me. There is no problem in taking off, whether you know or doesn't know. I mean, I just wanted to understand, like, how you guys are here, so that, or maybe we can have a general talk instead of, like, if someone doesn't wanted to speak, that should be fine. Please go ahead, guys. I'm taking
Good
as a
morning, sir.
positive. Yeah, please go ahead, ma. Very good morning.
The session was really informative, sir. I was just following all the cloud related things, and I have just only two questions. If we want to shift our legacy applications of educational institutions onto the cloud, what will be the challenges we will be facing? And the second question is, are there any cloud vendors who are going to provide free services for non-profit educational institutions?
Okay, let me come back. Thank you for your question, and it makes really complete sense for the educational institutions. Okay, yeah, to well in precise to make legacy systems to your cloud applications, right? There will be challenges definitely, yeah, but we just wanted to plan, like, to make sure how we can get the things in a better with proper architecture perspective in terms of to manage your legacy to cloud. And there are a lot of tools which can help us to migrate from your non-cloud to cloud. Definitely there are multiple tools which can help us into make sure that integrity and everything should be in sync from the legacy. And I don't remember the tools because there are multiple tools based on your design, right? So there are multiple tools which can help us. The second question, right? I mean, to come back to your second question, I don't think so non-profitable organizations will be benefited, because at the end of the day, for Azure or for any cloud vendors, right, it's a business for them. Probably I didn't give a try on that part, but definitely I'll reach out to my community that, is there any possibility that do we get a benefit for the non-profit organizations, and see that how it can help us. I'll come back to you on this part. Okay, or
Thank
maybe
you,
I'll
sir.
reach out to Narsimla, because right now I don't have any idea like non-profit organizations, because we do give the presentations, but I never received such a wonderful question from your side. Yeah, but it's fantastic question, I can say. I'll reach out, or maybe I'll research from my side, and I'll get back to Narsimlu sir or maybe someone else. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, ma.
Thank you once again, sir. A small information to all the participants. A feedback link will be sent to the WhatsApp group which you all are there in. So kindly fill the feedback form for all the days, because based on the feedback form and the attendance, we'll be providing on the certificate. Also, today during the session, there was a technical difficulty in the YouTube. However, we'll try our best to upload the recorded video in YouTube later on. Thank you all for your patience. And if there's any query, you all can get to the organizers, or you can post it in the WhatsApp group, or we'll be sending the email ID or the phone number of the speakers where you all can contact them. Thank you so much once again for attending the session. Thanks, sir, also for a useful session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, madam, and for giving us such an opportunity. Okay. All right. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
This conference will now be recorded.